Today, we're going to be talking about something that affects all of us, whether we realize it or not. Who controls your money? You work hard, you collect your paycheck, you put it in the bank, and your money is safe. But there are outside forces that will affect how much money you take home, how much money you're able to spend. One of the biggest influencers we're talking is the government. This is not about politics, by the way. This is not about fear. This is about self-awareness. See, by understanding how government policies operate, you'll be able to safeguard your wallet and you can make better decisions with regards to yourself and your family. We're talking today about who or what controls your money and how it will impact you, but more importantly, what can be done so that you can remain in control despite what happens. But first, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, or drop a comment down below. Show the channel some love. By the way, in case you haven't met me, my name is Leon Mann, and I'm a licensed wealth consultant with Money Assist Financial. And what I do, I help hardworking individuals add an additional multiple 6 to 7 figures to their retirement portfolio. I also, more importantly, help them to protect the hard-earned money during retirement. Now, when it comes to control, the first thing that the government have control that we do not is inflation rate. Inflation rate is pretty scary. Inflation rates, it does not appear in any receipts, any tax documents, or any paper. Inflation is the silent killer. As a matter of fact, every single year, guys, inflation increases by about 2%, whether there is a recession or not. Every time the government prints money, your purchasing power, guess what? It decreases. What this means is that $100 today is not going to mean nearly as much as $100 20 years from now. And you will feel it at the gas pumps. You will feel it at the grocery store. You will feel it anywhere you have to shop for goods and services. And the scary part is you can be doing everything right. You could be working hard. You could be collecting a decent income. But if the inflation rates keep going up, it's gonna make you feel as if you're falling behind when you're doing everything right. And one way to protect, by the way, against inflation is by having investments you need that surpasses the rate of inflation. So it maintains your purchasing power. That is one solution I would usually suggest to protect yourself from inflation because you want to protect your purchasing power. The second way the government impacts your finances is by taxes. Now, taxes, everyone hates taxes, but taxes will determine how much money you can keep and take home. And there's all kinds of taxes. There's income taxes, there's property taxes, there's capital gains taxes, there is sales taxes, just about every kind of taxes out there that perhaps you can think of. And what this means also is that even if you're making a good income, if you do not know how to minimize taxes actually, it will feel as if you're struggling. It will feel as if you're behind because the more income that you make, the more taxes is going to be coming out. So you want to find ways to minimize how much taxes you pay. The third way is by interest rates. Central banks, they can either lower or they can either increase the interest rates, and it will affect just about everything. It would affect your mortgage, your bank loans, your credit card. It would even affect the job market. When the government increases the interest rates, as they have done over the last couple of years, what happens is that we borrow less, we spend less, our confidence will drop. and everything will come to a standstill. The economy will slow down. Now, when the government lowers the interest rates, then everyone starts back borrowing again. Everyone starts back spending again. And it stimulates the economy because our confidence as consumers, it would increase. What this means is that decisions made behind closed doors in government offices can affect your entire household, right? So you want to be wary of this. And it may not necessarily be something you even voted on. What this means that financial freedom does not mean that you have to escape the system, but financial freedom is making the system work for you. This is why discussions like these are so important. If you don't know how your money works, there will be someone that influences how you spend your money. So you want to make sure you learn things like investments, tax planning, debt management, and long-term financial planning so you can have some control, because you still have some control. Even if the government is corrupted, or even if the government policies are not up to your liking, you want to be financially prepared instead of financially surprised. And I'm going to say it again. It's best to be financially prepared as opposed to financially surprised. These things, they're not taught in schools, by the way. In schools, they teach us how to make our money, but they do not teach us how to grow, how to preserve our money in economic turbulent times. And this is why every single person, they panic. When the market drops, everyone panics because they do not really know what to do. It was never really taught to us in school. So what can you do? Number one is best to have an emergency fund. You want to have at least 6 to 12 months of emergency funds stashed away in case you lose your job. Second, you need to invest consistently. Consistent investments every single month will create long-term financial wealth. You want to also know how to manage your debt. You want to get rid of any high interest credit card debt, because with credit card debt, you can't spend money on anything else. It will affect your quality of life. And you want to protect your income. So if something happens, such as a death in the family, or if something happens where you become ill and you can't work, you want to have something in place to protect your income. And this way, you can remain in control even if the government was to be corrupted, and even if the government lowers its standards, right? By the way, if you found value in this presentation, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, or drop a comment down below. And also, guys, feel free to check out my other videos. If you like content on wealth building, money, financial strategies, follow for more. I thank you guys for tuning in. And until next time, I wish you guys all the best. See you in the next episode. Peace and love. Take care.